what's up? What's up? What's up, everybody?
What
What's
up?
This
up?
is Muffin, because I don't want nobody know my real name. So it's Muffin with
Uh-huh.
Unfiltered, co-host Quasi,
Mhm.
and my guest Brandy with Bouncing Back with B. How y'all doing?
We
We good, we
good.
good. Thanks for having us on your maiden voyage for your podcast episode. It's a maiden voyage. So thanks for having us.
Well, thanks for joining me while you sip on vitamin C there.
Now that's a vitamin. That's mango
What?
and tequila.
Oh,
Oh, I'm
that's
like,
funny.
man, that
That's
look like
vitamin C.
Yeah, I'm
it
having
look
my
like
drink
crayon
separated.
sauce or something. Like it's bright.
Yeah. It's mango juice and tequila. Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about dating after divorce.
Okay.
Dating after divorce. We're going to talk about how soon is too soon to start dating, to start venturing out, meeting people after your divorce. Um, and then wherever that takes us, right? So, um, who wants to start it off here? Who has some
Ladies
insight to share?
first. Bouncing back with B.
Bouncing back
Do your
with B, you're
thing.
the guest. You want to kick it off?
Ladies first.
No problem. Um, well, like I said before, rest in peace to my ex-husband.
Mhm.
Um, but like I said, that's a whole nother podcast because I didn't do it. but but yeah, dating after divorce. I firmly believe in like healing yourself first before you step into something different. I don't believe in burdening someone else with your past traumas if that's how your
Mm.
relationship ended. And I also believe that if it didn't end that way and it was like, you guys just decided that on a real friendship level that this is not working, we need to move on, then yeah, maybe you're free enough, you're healed enough to start seeking or seeing someone else, whether it's serious or it's just to have fun, to find yourself in some type of way.
Well,
What about you, Quincy?
in my experience, because I was married for like 2 years. I was married for 2 years.
It was like a little second.
Yeah, I was married for a little
Mhm.
second, but it didn't take me long to start dating after it. I felt
Mm.
after the divorce, I felt the weight. I felt free, and I really wanted to enjoy myself. And I was outside for a bit. I was really outside. I had
But
fun.
were you young or
Nah, this happened. I was 30. This happened 2017. So I was 37. Yeah.
okay? Because
So I was
I
I
feel
was
like
I
that's
was
been a little too.
I was mature and stuff like that. So I used that opportunity to date, like truly date.
Okay.
Date with no strings attached, really navigating the dating scene, have fun for the most part. But I'm not having fun in the traditional sense. Yeah, I'm saying I'm outside, but I wasn't outside like partying every day and stuff like that. I was going on dates. I was enjoying dates because dating at our age and stuff is different. Because I'm
Mhm.
46 right now, so dating at that time at 37, I craving conversation.
Mhm.
I'm craving things that could a form of stimuli. So
Yeah.
it
Mhm.
wasn't a regular, let's go on a date because you're beautiful and stuff like that. The conversation was the most important thing. Because me, I love the structure of being in a relationship. So at that
Mhm.
time, I didn't want to jump back into a relationship. But I wanted to get what I was craving, which was good conversation and building rapport with somebody.
Got you. I was
Mm.
the opposite. I was pretty young.
Hmm.
So I got married, I think I was about 24, if that.
Oh.
And so when we did separate, um, I felt like I had to find myself a little bit.
Hmm.
And not that I didn't know who I was, but I was like, there's like a whole world out there that everyone else was living, all my girlfriends were doing, and I did not get to experience.
Yeah.
So I did get to, I traveled a lot. I did everything that we didn't do together.
Mm. My difference is I immersed myself in work. I
Mhm.
needed that distraction. So work is a distraction for me, even to this day and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
I immerse myself in work.
So, my marriage actually was, it wasn't, will you marry me? It was more like, hey, we already have children. We might as well get married.
Mm.
So there was no romance in the proposal, nothing? Or just like
No, we were at the mall, actually, we were at the mall. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was one of the most ghetto malls around here too,
Mhm.
and he just kinda, like, forgot what I was doing, and then I, like, turned around, he just had it in his hand,
Mhm.
you know, so it was something like that.
But that's
Um,
romantic a little bit. No?
n now, here's the thing, at the time now, we were very young, like, in our 20s, but I had my, second daughter when I was 21,
Mhm.
Okay.
and he was 24.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, so he was, like, kinda 25 and I was 22, and we decided to get married, and it was we were already just doing the family thing, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so it was kinda like, "Well, this we have to go through with this. Let's just go through with this and do the right thing," you know?
Mhm.
And we were still trying to figure each other out, but more trying to figure ourselves out because it's funny because at this age, having children who are 20 something, I look at
Mhm.
them and I'm like, wow, you guys have a lot to learn. And then that
Mhm.
was me just learning it as I go along, you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. And the thing is, honestly, the whole thing, the entire thing wasn't a bad experience. It was a learning experience.
Mhm.
And it's not until we actually like split up officially that we actually communicated a bit,
Yeah.
you know? Because mind you, as time goes by, we're getting older, right?
Mhm.
And it was a really messed up divorce, but we actually became friends after
Mhm.
that. And I gotta say, just looking back, I was not ready. I was not ready. Like 20 something, like you're a kid. And
And and that's what I realized, right? A lot of us, especially in that young space, because I was with my girl's mom till 2005. So I was 25 when we broke up, but I was 18 when we got together. And we had two kids with that. That's the only two kids I have, right? And we tend to take on growing responsibilities young because we're holding on to these relationships that we're not ready for. Because right now, my youngest daughter, she's 22. She's about to get her bachelor's. She's about to be a
Mm.
nurse. That's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to go to school,
Yeah.
enjoy life,
yeah.
travel, then venture into marriage and stuff like that. So you know,
Mhm.
so for the
I
most part,
kinda had a different experience, sorry. It's kinda similar to Kareen's, but it's also different for both of you at the same time,
uh
because I did have a child already before I married, my ex-husband,
uh
but I had been proposed to, he was my 3rd or 4th proposal.
what?
Mhm. Yeah, wife material, it was
Your
like
wife material girl right
I
off the
mean,
bat.
she had a
But I
gym
wouldn't say I
for
wasn't I would I wouldn't say I wasn't ready though. Even though I felt like I was young because like especially in I guess in the Haitian culture, it's like
Mm.
I wanted because I had a son already, I wanted to be a wife. So I wanted to do the things that I thought a wife was supposed to do. And he was 7 years older than me. So I thought that, because he came from a solid home, mother and father still together, that I thought that we were gonna build that together, but I don't think he was ready.
I think that coming from a two-parent household, I used to believe that was a thing. That's a myth.
Yeah.
That sometimes it don't impact people inner core values. They might come from
Mhm.
it, they might see it growing up, they know what right looks like, but they have to have it in them, and
Yeah.
that's a myth right there.
Mhm.
So that was that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
as bouncing off of what you were saying, bouncing back would be about I think earlier you were saying it depends on, how it ended and
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna tell you, there is that trauma that um let's say, within a relationship or whatever it is that you bring from that, it is important that you heal before moving on. Now, here's the thing, right?
Mhm.
Here's the thing. Um, there are people who just like literally just transition over, right? And then you have these expectations of, what you want that you didn't get in the
Mhm.
marriage, or, or let's say being used to bad habits or something, and then you bring that over, right? But it is important, and not only just with a marriage, but with like a relationship, to heal, like to take the time to heal, right? Because, you know, I- I'm going to say, I won't say me because I'm not in that. I'm going to say, I've heard before where people say, oh, I want someone to make me happy, right? And it's like, well, what does that mean? Like, make you happy, right? Like, like what is, tell me, explain that to me. How does someone make you happy? Like, that's a big responsibility if you think about it, right? Like,
Mhm.
dang, I got to make this person happy. What does it take to make this person happy? Well, what if that person doesn't even know what it takes to make them happy? Because
Exactly.
obviously, if they need somebody to make them happy, then they're not happy, right?
And
Right.
that's exactly the main point, because a lot of people say they need someone to make them happy, but happiness begins within yourself. You know,
Absolutely.
Bang. That part,
that's a job with no pay,
Mhm.
making other
that
people
part right
happy.
there.
Mhm,
But what's even scarier than that, right? Right? This is deep. This is deep. So let's say somebody is responsible for your happiness, right?
mhm.
What happens when that person leaves?
They're
Hmm.
devastated,
They
Yeah.
took they took the happiness with them.
And
and they
that's
hug in
where
the
those
pillow and cry.
psycho movies start when you have those,
Right.
snapped and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Exactly. Right? What was it, first 48 hours?
You know what I
You
mean?
know what I mean? Right. Somebody just took your happiness. So now your everything just left, and now you can't even go on, and you can't live your life. That doesn't make any sense. That
So let
doesn't
me
make any sense.
so let me give you guys some give you guys some give some transparency, right? This is the first time I'm in my life I'm with someone that don't need me,
Mm.
which makes it an incredible dating experience.
Oh, that is deep.
That's amazing.
Don't need me. Only thing I do is add into her. Cause she's already
Oh,
there. I just add into her. She don't need me.
That's nice that
She
you
don't need me to
appreciate
come in
that.
her life and save her and fix stuff. I don't. That's not my dating experience now. And since it's not like that, the pressure of that is off of me.
mm,
I'm enjoying this relationship space.
But that's beautiful that you appreciate that because I
Mhm,
feel in my experience, it's when I started dating after
mhm.
marriage, I mean divorce, men were very they I heard people tell me that, "Oh, I'm too independent. I don't like need them. I'm doing things on my own." Like if they were to meet a woman who was more like to text them and call them and to dote on them, that they would be, more into me. And I was very afraid of dating after.
Yeah.
I mean definitely afraid to the point where when guys would come up to me and be like, "Oh, I love you and I want to be with you." I'm like, "Oh, thank you." And I'm running away.
See,
I
I
ain't wanna
understand
go.
from when a guy is positioning himself that way, he's trying to have leverage in your life.
Mm,
He's trying to put himself in a position where if he leaves you, you're devastated. You
mhm.
need him.
Mhm.
So that's about leverage and positioning.
Yeah.
So I never lead like that, to try to get in a relationship. I never position myself that way. But I used to have a messiah complex, right? So I
Mm.
come in your life, I want to save you, I want to fix things, I want to elevate you, I want to elevate your station, I want to add to you, I want to grow you up.
Mhm.
But dating at 46 and stuff shouldn't be that way. Because when you're dating at this age, everybody should have it together.
Right. It
They
should.
right.
should have
Should
it
be
together.
dating.
Should.
Yeah, they should have it
Right.
together. Like, and I was telling somebody this recently, right? And that's a couple on my podcast a couple times ago, right? Two sufferers cannot be together.
Hmm.
You can't date a sufferer, and you can't be suffering when you're dating somebody.
Right.
You have to be balanced.
Right.
That balance is very, very important.
Or else the person is gonna drain you at the
Train
end
you.
of the day.
Yes, I was gonna say that. When you were talking about like, my anxiety there got talking about, just I want to do this and do that. And then
Mhm.
sometimes that becomes doing too much. It's like, whoa, you know.
I can tell stories about that. I have the first guy I dated after my marriage was he was very like overbearing. Like, we work together, and so he decided, "Oh, let me give you a ride to work." So I'm like, "Okay, no problem." So then he shows up my house with breakfast, which is a nice gesture. But then, he's like, he didn't know what breakfast. He bought all these breakfasts, and I'm like different things. So I'm like, "Okay, this is different," because I had never experienced that before.
Uh-huh.
And then it was like he would call me and say, like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm getting my kids ready for school." And he's like, "I'm outside your house." And it became like different ways for him to like show up or be around me. And at the time, I was trying to tell him like I wasn't ready for something serious. We could hang out, we could do things like that. But then he just kept pushing himself into my life to try to do something more. Like he was like, okay, so I had moved in to my grandmother's house
Mhm.
and I had this new apartment, and he's like, "Oh, let me paint the apartment. Let me do this for you. Let me do that." So I'm like, "Okay." But then after he would go and tell people as though he saved me, like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I'm doing this for her, and
leverage.
what is she doing for me?"
Walls,
And I
man, I
was just like,
painted those walls so bright, like,
Is leverage, and that's suffocating with attention thing is love bombing.
I felt like I was feminine too. Sorry.
I mean to say, well, let unpack that a bit, right? I think a man should have that romance in him to do
Mhm.
grand gestures. It's a grand gesture.
Mhm.
And you have to pace yourself. You can't
Mhm.
suffocate with attention because it turns somebody off.
Mhm.
yeah.
I
Like,
dated
don't give me
somebody.
all of that at once. Like, give me one and let me kind of take it in a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
and
did
then it's like you talking about me behind my back too. It's like, cause he had sisters, and he used to
uh,
talk about me behind my back to his sisters, and I caught him. And I'm like, "So why are you doing stuff
so
for me if you gotta go tell everybody what you're doing?"
so I dated somebody, right? Years back. Perfect on paper, perfect thing.
Mhm.
But it was suffocating me with attention, man. And
Mm,
eventually decided to leverage what it did to hold a place in my
mm,
life. I
mhm,
get turned off.
Mm.
Because I'm my own man. I stand on my own 2 feet and stuff. And you know that Caribbean pride is a real thing. So when they
mhm.
start to attack
Mm.
our pride and stuff like that, we disassociate with ourselves with it. But I could see it. Did he have good intentions? He did have good intentions. But he wanted to overwhelm you with deeds. So he wanted his deeds to be so magnified in your head that, oh my God, he's everything to you. And you
Yes.
go through it. That's what it
Yeah.
was. It's positional leverage.
So speaking of that, talking about the leverage,
Hmm.
dating after divorce. So one guy that I dated,
Hmm.
yeah, he was a handful. Let me just say this. So, I had my own place,
Hmm.
uh, got my own place for the first time, went and bought was the first time, I actually went to the lot and purchased a car that I actually wanted and not that, oh, I can afford this, so let me buy this, right?
Yeah.
And I was very proud of myself. I was very proud of myself. Wasn't making, the most money, but I'm telling you, I was at peace, right? Because, I like to live within my means. So I was doing well, right?
Hmm.
So, he had mentioned it one day about helping me to pay my bills. And I'm like, well, you can give me the money to, pay the bill. And he's like, well, no, just why don't you put my credit card on your account, so that way they can, take out the money. And I was a little hesitant. I was hesitant. I just kind of left it alone. So that I think there was one day I was actually like on my laptop paying a bill or something like that. He brought it up again and I let him, right? Let him. So he paid my phone bill
Hmm.
and he paid my car insurance. Well, what do you know? He's a dog. We broke up, right? We broke up. It was bad. Like broke up. Next thing you know, probably about a month later, I get a text message from my phone. The phone company was like, "Oh, your bill is behind. You're behind on your bill." I'm like, "I'm never behind on my bill." I'm like, "What?" And let me just say, it was like 300 something dollars, right? And my phone bill's like $100. I'm like, "What?" So apparently, when I called them, he contacted them and told them that his credit card was stolen, and so he
Mm.
unpaid my phone bill.
Wow.
So
Filthy.
when I found that out, I contacted the insurance, and sure enough, I caught that one just in time because then my insurance would have lapsed. Now, do you understand that it did? It took me a while to get myself together, just even to the point where I'm able to like to do something for myself,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And for this person to come in and see that and
Mhm.
say, right, you think about it, to say, "Oh, you're paying your bills on your own. Why don't you let me help you?"
Right.
Help you, right? So then that wasn't out of the kindness of your heart, because
Right.
if you actually really cared, you would care when we broke up, because I wasn't the one who broke us up. You know what I mean? You were doing your stuff or whatever the case, and I decided I don't want any part of that anymore, right?
Did he
I
did
chose
he
not
wanna
to.
break did he want it over or he didn't want it over, right?
Well, let me just say this, right? Not in his mind, but his actions.
No.
Mm.
So the
Because
reason
Mhm.
why the
yeah,
so the reason why I
I'll let
approach
you
it
know,
like that,
because
right?
when you if you're dealing with someone who almost kind of turning you into somebody else, it's
Mhm.
time to go. Like doing things that you don't usually do, like, let me go into your account and check this and check that, because what you're saying to me doesn't add up. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. When we were accidentally we weren't sharing location. Do you know there was this thing on Facebook where there's a Facebook friends or something like that? When you add them, you can see where they are.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Mhm.
Do you
I don't
remember
think
that, B?
no.
So
I don't think
this
I
was
was
like
that tech savvy back then. I was
so
remember I
it
told you I was outside.
so this was like, it had to be like 2015 or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And
Hmm.
I didn't think anything of it, right? I just added Facebook friends. It's, oh, now you can see where your friends are. I didn't know exactly what it was
Mm.
until one day, I was getting an oil change, and I checked my phone, and it was like, it went ding, and I'm like, it says such and such is in the area. I'm like, what? That's when I realized that it actually shows you the person's location, and it dings when they're close to you. And you know what else it showed me? That he was next to me, right?
So
So
he was
I didn't say
sexy?
anything to him, and I almost did. I'm like, "Would you look?" I'm like, "Look at this." And then when I realized, I was like, "Oh, never mind." Yep. So sure enough, 2 o'clock in the morning and stuff, I'm seeing this person out, and I'm like, "Well, look at here." I call now, not just a long distance relationship, okay? I
Uh-huh.
call, the person doesn't answer their phone. Doesn't
Oh.
answer his phone. But then he starts an argument with me via text.
Mm.
Kareem, why are you texting me? You know what time it is, and this and that and that. And big, yeah, we girl, and I'm like, well, I don't think you're home. You know
Mhm.
what? I'm tired of your
I
nonsense.
don't think you're
Mhm.
home.
Yeah, I'm like, well, why don't you just talk to me now? And so instead of meeting him with that argumentative tone, I'm kind of like, well, I miss you. I just woke
Mm.
up and thought about you. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh my
where
goodness.
are you? I don't think. I'm like, I don't think you're home, because you're not answering the phone. And he's like, Kareem, you're nonsense and all this other stuff. Yeah, sure enough. Anyway, let me just say, he was dating
So you busted
everybody,
him.
their cousin, their sisters, like literally. Anyway,
So
this is
so you understand too, that's a hurt man reaction.
Mm.
Yeah, he wrong, but he don't wanna lose you, so he wanna hurt
Mhm.
you for leaving him. So that's why he unpay them bills.
That's crazy
yeah,
That's
though.
super petty though. That's some
That
petty
is
shit,
really
man.
petty because it's like, what was the point of that? You know what I mean?
right.
Mhm.
Right. But guess what? Because he had to hurt me any way that he can,
Mhm.
right?
Mm.
Any way that he can. Because I mean, how else would he be able to do that? Like I said, I was just making it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I
Yeah,
was just making it. I could not have afforded to, have like, okay, my bill lapse or something like that.
yeah.
But, luckily I had my backup money. I just went into my savings. And when I tell y'all, it hurt me to do that,
Mm.
but after I did that, I just felt this peace, because
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, confirmation, confirmation. Dude, I will never, ever
There's
talk to you ever again.
I bet you
there's a
did some
Ever.
karma, and you never heard about him again? Because I
Have
always
I
hear
not?
about them. I always hear about the ones that jaded me or did something messed up. I always hear the
I
karma
let
that
him
happened to
I
him.
let him follow me on social media, yo, so they can see how lit my life
I
is.
blocked him. And then he
Nah, I don't block
on my
nobody.
account.
You're gonna see how lit my life
Mm.
is. and be sick to your stomach. I don't block nobody. You'll see all this greatness.
I have
That's
to.
hilarious.
I'm petty like that,
Yeah,
yo. You know?
yeah. Yeah, I had to. Yeah, there are some that I do that with, but him, because I didn't want to see what he was doing. Like I just got this. Ugh, it was like, ugh.
But he
Yeah.
will, and they always tend to try to text you out of the blue.
Oh
I'm just
my
thinking
god!
about you.
I still get
Exactly.
text messages to
that's
this
that's a tactic, yo, just to mess
to
your
this
whole.
day.
I'll be honest with you, right? Sometimes this is a man thing. Sometimes we in a good space mentally, but we miss you. So we could send
Mm.
you that text. I'm just
Mhm.
thinking of you to respond. Because we know
Mhm.
woman nature is to respond. So you can respond. That means we got
You know what I respond and
you.
say? Me and my husband are thinking about you too. We miss you too, boo. When you gonna come over and hang out with us?
Oh yeah, that's
I'm on my way.
I'm like,
You mean the right one, petty the petty champ of the world will be like, I'm on my way. See you soon.
right, like, hey, you gonna come see me? I'm like,
Mm.
I don't know. Let me see what he doing first. We can stop by, probably have some drinks or something. Would you like that?
And it's funny because it be always married men too. They be married and having seemingly happy relationships, and they hitting me up talking about they miss me and all kind of stuff. I'm like, me? You
You know
miss
what's
me?
happened to a lot of people settle in relationships, man. There's a lot of people that settle in relationships and they're miserable in it.
Yeah.
You know, because
And that's that growth, though. That's that growth because once you get past that, once you know, and that's why it's important to have that time to yourself so you get to know yourself. You get to know yourself, what you like, what you don't like. And once you have your space, once you're in your space and you have your peace, let me tell you, you'll be so selective about who you let into your space and so stingy with your peace. I am
Let me
so
tell you.
stingy
I
with my peace.
understand. I understand because, like I said, I dated a lot of frogs before I got my prince. I'm telling you, there was so many frogs out there. And you say you petty? I remember one time I went on a date with this guy and he just thought he was like God's gift to women. And we're on a date and he's just like staring at the waitress and he's like, wow, she's beautiful. I wonder where she's from and stuff like that. So when she comes to take our order, I was, excuse me, miss, you're beautiful. Where are you from? And she tells us, and I was like, yo, my brother, he thinks you are so gorgeous. You should get married. And he was just like, what? And I'm like, so when she walked away, I was like, look, dude, I just came here for free food, okay? Free
You
food
know
and
what
drink.
I'm saying? Like, yeah, you
You
don't
do
want to play.
you.
You can't get
I
me
don't
like
got
that.
time.
Right.
Yeah, you funny as
Yeah.
hell, yes. But
Like
brother,
I don't wait for you to play. Like, you know what I mean? I'm allowing you to play right now. Don't do that.
Cause I know my worth at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So it's like
That part.
I wasn't even giving guys long enough chances to be in my life because also I had 2 sons that I'm raising.
Mhm.
And I don't want just any guy coming around and they have a depiction of, oh, this is the one that mommy chose. I already messed up with their dad. So let me find somebody that's going to be an honorable man in their life.
And
Part two.
I learned in all this the value system. People only appreciate the value of you when they no longer have access to you.
Hmm.
The value system is a good lesson to teach people for their maturity. So it's a good
Hmm.
thing. There's a lot of lessons in hurt,
Hmm.
Breakup is an incredible thing. All it does is prepare you for your future love of your life.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah.
Right? And
Oh
that's
yeah. 'Cause
my
they
take
standing
on
in
it.
your way, just blocking everything, and then you're like, move.
Yeah.
Look, and I was scared to
Mhm.
accept that the love of my life.
Mm.
Because I just was so like, I had been accustomed to the lies and the games. And so I felt like, okay, if you're going to play a game, I will play all the games you want to play and just keep moving and enjoy the benefits that I was getting. I mean, guys was flying me out. And I'm not saying this in a way to be boastful or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's
You
the
know,
thing is,
man.
as a woman, I feel like what happened to courtship? But that's what men are supposed to do. And so when I see these young girls talking about it, I'm like, yeah, I experienced that. That's what it was. But I didn't have to give my body, sell my body. This is what it was, a requirement of to date me.
Mhm.
But then it was like when he was like, I want to be more than that, I was looking like, want to be more than what?
Like, what else is there?
Yeah,
That's so funny, yeah.
I'm having a good time. Fun.
Like, do not ruin this moment.
Oh, man. Mm-mm-mm.
Man. Oh, and that's going to be part two, though, right?
Uh,
Dating with children.
yes.
Ooh.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, Dating with Children coming soon
Coming
to a
soon.
podcast near you.
Mhm.
I got stories about that too.
Man. Yeah, yeah. Because we're talking about, the kids vibing and, you know, um,
Baby
I
mama
want to get into all of
navigation.
that. Bonus kids,
Woo!
right?
Yeah, that could be a good episode. I'm here for that.
Okay, it's definitely going to be part two. That's part two because I want to get into all of that. I want to get into blended families,
Mhm.
um, just the whole dynamics, because it changes the whole family dynamics,
Mhm.
the responsibilities, is my kids versus your kids, and kids with
That's a mean one right there, boy. That one is the controversial one right
exes.
there. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
controversial one
yeah,
right there.
that's gonna
Yeah.
be part two. Yep.
Yeah.
So, looks like we're all out of time, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna say this right here was sort of impromptu, actually, and it was good. It was good. The thing is, so this is the first time you guys meeting each other,
Yes.
Mhm.
right? So Quasi and I always have good conversations, like just
Mhm.
from day one, just always deep, meaningful conversations, right? And then and we vibe,
Yeah.
like we vibe. We could talk about stuff like literally unfiltered, like literally unfiltered. You know what I mean? And
And it's from day one, which is so funny. And she's my first cousin.
Yeah.
mhm. Yeah, so like from day one. Yeah. But it was really good to be able to get together with you guys to have
Mm.
this discussion, and I am looking forward to part 2. So stay
Oh,
tuned.
I may tread lightly on
Anybody
that one.
wanna anybody wanna make any closing remarks?
Nah, I had a fun time. I look forward to doing this again. This is dope.
Definitely.
Thank you for
Def
having me, guys.
Of
Okay.
course. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
All right, guys. Like, subscribe, and share. Can't forget that.